We are back at it again. Good to see my friend. If you don't know, now you know this. Hayes sounds what they call me. Just a little while ago, I did a reaction to Apple's 100 greatest albums of all time, which the list was complete cat, or they just didn't know what they were talking about. Today, you're going to get the official greatest top 10 albums of all time. And as a bonus, I'm actually going to give you 15 through 11 as well. But with that being said, let's go. So starting at 15, we got Sade's Love Deluxe. Oh my God, this album, it's like floating on water, floating on a cloud. Like Sade has such a unique sound and voice and in style, different from everyone else. And the songs on there from Kiss of Life to Cherish the Day to No Ordinary Love, No Ordinary Love. Like I just feel like I'm being hugged and cuddled by music. Like I can't explain it. It's not even a genre in my opinion. Sade's music is not R&B, it's not soul, it's not neo soul. It is spiritual healing music. Yes, I've coined it. I've coined Sade's her own genre. It's spiritual healing music. And if you listen to this album, you understand why. Number 14, in my opinion, one of the greatest albums, not only of the 90s, not only of R&B, but of soul, but of neo soul. An underrated artist, in my opinion, that doesn't get enough love. D'Angelo's album, Voodoo. Voodoo, bruh. You can't even classify this album. He brought so many different sounds and arrangements and melodies, from R&B to soul to funk to jazz to hip hop. Like so many different rich sounds, and the fact that he did all the arrangements along with his band and the vocals. Oh my God, the vocals and every song is unique. It is unique from Devil's Pie with DJ Premier doing the scratches to send it on, send it do, send it right back to you. Like the ballads on this, and then he got the funk records, the Africa joint, and then oh my God, and then the legendary, iconic, untitled have it your way. Like, yo, bruh, you have to, if you haven't, you have to listen to D'Angelo's Voodoo. You will not regret it. Number 13, this is going to be a shocker and surprising. Probably nobody, I don't think anybody will have this on their top 15, 20, even 50 list of greatest albums of all time. And it's because you don't listen. With the album Head Full of Dreams by Coldplay. The album cover itself explains this album to a T. The rich sounds, I can smell, feel, see colors with this album, the energy, the frequency of this album. Oh my God. There's no way you don't get tingly all inside when you listen to this album from him for The Weeknd featuring Beyonce doing the damn thing on the vocals to Up to Adventures of a Lifetime. There's no way you cannot get up. When you hear Adventures of a Lifetime, the energy, the woo, 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 like it's great vibes, it's great feelings, and all the other songs of this album is so perfect as well. And again, it gives you a different sound than your typical alternative rock or rock album. He infused soul, R&B, hip hop. And of course, the instrumentation is always on point. The melodies are unreal on this album. Chris Martin did the damn thing. Again, it will make you not only hear, but see, smell, and feel different colors, man. It's unreal, dog. It's unreal. Number 12, in my opinion, the greatest band to ever live. Yeah, no disrespect to James Brown and the JBs, no disrespect to the Beatles, Rolling Stones, Sly and the Family Stone, no disrespect to all of them. But the greatest band of all time put out one of the greatest albums of all time, and it's why it's at number 12. I Am. I Am by Earth, Wind, and Fire. When I tell you the elements of what music is supposed to be is all up through this goddamn album. I mean, my God, from the beginning to In the Stone, to the Tight Horns, to Can't Let Go, to After the Love Is Gone, one of the greatest ballads and arrangements. The melody just like the arrangements, bro, is so different and it's tight, but it's loose. Like it gives you everything you want in terms of it's jazz, it's funk, it's soul, R&B. It gives you everything you want and more. I am. It's I am. Shout out to my Nacho Libre fans. I am. Like, I Am is one of the essential albums, not only during the 70s, but of all time. Number 11, in my opinion, the greatest rock group of all time, which I know that will be debated in the comment section probably, but in my opinion, Queen, Night at the Opera. Yes, Queen, Night at the Opera is so different from anything during its time and even today. It took risk. Again, Freddie Mercury, in my opinion, probably a top 5 vocalist of all time. Next to like Whitney, Aretha, he's right there. Tone, B-Slade, whatever you want to call him. Like, he's right there in terms of vocally. And then you have a great band with the melodies they were doing, from You Were My Best Friend to Love of My Life. And you, everybody in their mamas know about Bohemian Rhapsody. A song that should not work. On paper, should not work. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, then now he's dead. It should not work. But yet, the song builds and builds and builds and builds. Then it stops. The operatic or the opera, like in that song, it's just Night at the Opera. Again, it took so many risks. It's so unique and special and timeless. And all I have to say about Night at the Opera from Queen, bravo. So that was 15 through 11. Now, my official top 10 greatest albums of all time. We're going to start off hot. Number 10, in my opinion, the greatest R&B album, soul album, neo-soul album ever made, 1997, by my baby girl, Erykah Badu. Badu-ism. When I tell you this album has no skips, none. From the beginning, from Rim Shot all the way out to the end. Like, this entire, every song is a moment. From 4-Leaf Clover to Apple Tree. The scatting that Erykah Badu does on this project, the skit and the scatting, and it gives you like a live lounge type of feel. Like, every song is dope. Every song is love. Every song, oh God, Erykah Badu just did the damn thing. in the iconic On and On. I been kind of funky. On and on and on and on. Like, I guess I see you next lifetime. Next lifetime. The other side of the game. What you gonna do when it comes? Life ain't nothing but a pay the bill. Like, just this whole project and the horns and the strings, the piano and the scatting by Badu. Like, this is a live lounge type of band jazz session put on an album, and when I tell you it will put you at peace, this album is for sure about peace, and it will put you at peace. And it's why I have Baduizm at number 10 on the greatest albums of all time. Number 9, in my opinion, the greatest, not only the greatest rap artist to ever live, he has the greatest rap album ever curated. One of the few albums on this list that I actually truly lived. This album was a movie. At number 9, Kanye Amari West, My Beautiful, Dark, Twisted Fantasy. This album, like I said, is a movie. From the beginning of Dark Fantasy to the end to Lost in the World, all the different sounds and risk he took on this album, the man hours, the pun intended, the powerful power with the drums, the African drums, to the soul sample, to the lyrics, to all the lights where he bridged all these artists together, from John Legend to Rihanna to Elton John to Fergie to, and the horns on all the lights. MJ gone, my nigga dead. Like, what? To Runaway? Runaway. Like, what he did on Runaway has never been done in hip hop and will never be done again. To infuse these different sounds in a genre to where at first it was all about having no limits, shout out to Master P, to being completely put in a box. And Kanye said, we're gonna break that motherfucker open and just do whatever we want. And this is what this album is about. Just do whatever you want. And be open-minded to new sounds, to new rich, lush sounds and concepts. And Runaway, like I said, with the piano, and the way he used his vocals at the end to mimic a guitar. Like, I could talk about this album forever. Like, this album, like I said, is the greatest hip hop album ever created. It's one of the, in my opinion, the greatest album of the 21st century. I don't care what nobody like I say. And it definitely deserves to be at number 9. And a fantasy, this album definitely was. And is. Number 8, someone who also throughout his career has been controversial, has been about pushing boundaries, pushing the culture forward, changing the sound of music. The one and only Prince with the album Purple Rain. Purple Rain, bruh. Purple Rain is an album that you can't quantify in terms of a genre because it has everything in there. It has funk, it has jazz, it has R&B ballads, it has soul, it has rock. It pushed so many boundaries for its time. And Prince, who was more on the soul side, R&B side throughout his career, decided to take it up a notch in the early 80s and gave us classics like When Doves Cry, Let's Go Crazy, I Would Die For You, I Would Die For You, I knew you. Like, Beautiful Ones, Like the range, the vocals, like Prince, one of the greatest vocalists of all time. And I still don't think we appreciate him the way we should. But Beautiful Ones, the songwriting, the deep meanings and layers within his music. And then I didn't even talk about the quintessential Purple Rain, one of the greatest songs to ever be created ever. Purple Rain? Purple Rain. My God. That's something that had to be sent from God. Purple Rain, man. And all the other songs of this album, Purple Rain. Ain't no way you can make a top 10 albums of all time list and not put Purple Rain in there. It's not valid. If you don't put Purple Rain in there, it's not valid. Purple Rain deserves all the love it gets. And like I said before, Purple Rain is definitely something that was sent from God, that was sent to Prince and was given to our ears. Number 7. Someone who has at times been deemed competition to the artist I just talked about. But there are two completely different artists. And this album also pushed boundaries, changed the game, and gave us something that we've never heard before or after. Michael Jackson's Bad Album at number 7. Yes. Michael Jackson's Bad Album, an album that I like and love, even though some may feel differently. Yes, I'm talking to you. Love you. But yes, this album is everything from top to bottom outside of Speed Demon. But outside of Speed Demon, this album, man, has so much range to it. Michael, who completely changed his sound from the disco to the pop R&B to then rock influence. But yet, again, it's so much range on this project. Liberian Girl, to The Way You Make Me Feel, to Man in the Mirror. Like one of the greatest written songs, shout out to Andre Crouch, one of the greatest written songs of all time, and Michael performed that to perfection. To Smooth Criminal, creating movie scenes through songs. Bad, like Another Part of Me. I literally just named the entire project. Like this project, bruh. Every song is like its own movie scene, and as a collective, it pieces together as a movie musically. And Michael, who's a perfectionist, definitely gave us one of the most perfect albums and sounds that can't be duplicated, can't be replicated. Bad is the perfect name for this project by Michael. He was bad. Number 6. Might as well keep it on Michael, right? There's no secret. Most people should and have this in their top albums of all time. Off the Wall. Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. His first debut album as a single artist, solo artist. I know people want to talk about what he did, Ben and tweet. No. His first official project as a solo artist is Off the Wall, and I'll fight anybody that says anything different, because he actually got to be the head creative and curate his own sound and vibes and thought and energy and feeling into this project, and it showed. It's why it's special. It's why it's what it is. Off the Wall, from Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, the energy, the horns of that, the high falsetto by Michael on that. To Off the Wall itself, to Rock With You, like Michael is Michael because you can play Michael anywhere. You can play him at a church. You can play him at school. You can play him at a ball game. You can play him at a barbecue. Michael suits any situation, and Off the Wall is one of those times to where you can play Off the Wall anywhere, and it will naturally fit. And the songs in this project, Michael just being his greater self, and the different songs on this, man. I didn't even talk about She's Out of My Life. Like, what? The way Michael sung She's Out of My Life, and boy, did you probably have a girl at the time, but he sung it like he did. Man. Yeah, Off the Wall was definitely off the wall. Now, here are my top 5 albums of all time. It can't be debated. It can't be debated. I don't care what nobody says. It can't be debated. These are the top 5 albums ever in the history of music. Starting at number 5, an album that was needed, that was essential, that gave a voice to the voiceless, that pushed the culture forward, that helped push the community forward during some hard times, by an artist who is one of the greatest artists to ever live, one of the most unique vocals and voices to ever live. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye at number 5. It was like a time capsule of what was going on, pun intended, and Marvin Gaye just was giving his perspective of what he saw, what he felt from all angles, and did everything he could to express it in a way that had love, that had compassion, that had soul, that had fear, it had every emotion possible. From God Is Love to What's Going On to Inner City Blues to Mercy, Mercy Me. In an album that, for what I've read and heard, that the labels and industry didn't think was going to work. They didn't think it was going to work out. It was too revolutionary. It was too ahead of its time. But no, it was perfect for its time. Because Marvin Gaye was perfect for his time. And it was timeless. Because that entire project that was made back in, 71? Can be played today and still be relevant today. It's sad, but also it shows you how in tune Marvin Gaye was with what was going on within the community, and how he tried everything in his power to express it through song, through lyrics, through rhythm. And again, Marvin Gaye has his own unique sound that you know a Marvin Gaye sound when you hear it, with the horns and the saxophone and the piano and the multi-layered tracks by Marvin, the ad-libs, woo! Like, it's just, Marvin Gaye is 101. What's Going On is 101. And it's no way it's not top 5 all time. What's Going On? Great music is What's Going On. Number 4. I talked about in the video where I reacted to the Apple Music list that I felt a way that gospel was not represented. And I knew it was going to be because, it is what it is. But to me, this is the gospel Bible when it comes to albums within this genre and of any genre. Gospel, if you don't know, really created all these different genres. Every single one. All these genres we see today comes from gospel. It's the root. Just like this album is the root when we talk about gospel albums. To me, this is the greatest, not only gospel artist of all time, but most influential artist of all time. God's Property. God's Property is the essential album of gospel. Everybody that's anybody knows this album, or at least the hit song of this project, which is Stomp. Brother say Stomp. Oh, what does it say? Stomp. Like, everybody knows that album. Everybody knows it. Because what Kirk Franklin did was he bridged the gap, not only between the young generation and the old generation, but the genres as well, bringing in R&B influence, hip hop. God's property, man. God's property, from My Life Is in Your Hands to No More Than I Can Bear, to Love, a word that comes and goes, but few people really know what it means to really love somebody. Like, love is what this album is. Like, the soul, the choir, brought the sound of the choir back, the soul of the choir back. It was everything. And it is everything. And it's love. GP, are you with me? Number 3, this project for sure is headed above anything we ever heard and will ever hear again. At number 3, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that beautiful, talented, intelligent sister. She was able to fuse hip hop and R&B together to make a sound in a song in an album that hasn't been done before. It can't be done again. Like, people forget, like, Lauryn Hill was a rapper. Like, she was one of the greatest MCs of her time and still is. From Zion to doo-wop that thing, the hidden message between that thing, trying to talk to the sisters, to the songwriting of Everything Is Everything, to the soulful X Factor, care for me, the powerful voice and yet sensual voice of Lauryn. Like, she has so much range to Nothing Even Matters with D'Angelo. Like, she took you on a journey of self, of trying to discover self and love self. This is what this album is about. You have to have this album in your collection. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is one of the greatest albums ever. And that ain't no miseducation. That is educated opinion and fact. Number 2, in my opinion, the second greatest artist to ever live, has one of, if not the best, discography ever in music. Stevie Wonder, Songs of the Key of Life. What can I say about this album, man? It's conscious, it's soulful, it has ballads, it fuses, it mixes different genres together. The songwriting, me and my homegirl, shout out to homegirl around the way, we talk about this often, the genius of Stevie Wonder, the songwriting of Stevie Wonder, man. He brings out every emotion within his music, from I Wish to Isn't She Lovely to As. Oh my God. And all the other millions of tracks on this album. Like, Songs of the Key of Life is a key to what is the greatest album of all time. It's one of the keys. One of the major keys. Shout out to DJ Khaled. One of the major keys, one of the key notes. Songs of the Key of Life, man. It's relevant today. It'll be relevant tomorrow. It was relevant yesterday. Timeless. Man. Songs of the Key of Life definitely hit every single note. And at number 1, it should be no secret what's number 1. It should be number 1 for almost every single list curated in regards to greatest albums of all time. At number 1, none other than the greatest artist to ever live, Michael Jackson's Thriller. Thriller, which not only is the highest-selling album of all time, but I don't even know how to explain this album. The heart and soul of this project, the songwriting, the risk, the innovations, the creativity, the genius, like the genius of Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones as well. From Wanna Be Starting Something, the conscious song that you don't, unless you really listen to it, you don't realize is conscious, to Human Nature, to Beat It, to PYT, to The Girl, Doggone Girl Is Mine, to Lady in My Life. Like, I literally can, this whole project, man. There will never, ever be another Thriller. Ever, 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 ever. There will never be another Thriller, man. Michael found a certain frequency and found a certain vibe and passion that you can hear all throughout the music. You can hear all throughout the different songs, and the live instrumentation, and the melodies, and the what has been coined as the Michael Jackson wall of sound, to where the multi-tracks and the ad-libs and the layers. Oh my God, Thriller. And the fact that it's only, 9 songs? There is no room for error with this album, and yet every single song hits. You have your love records, your disco records, your pop records, your pop out, vibe, chill records, your dance record. Like, it has everything. It has everything. Thriller is the greatest album to ever be made, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Thriller, hands down, is the greatest album ever made, and nobody will ever, 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 ever be able to debate that. Michael Jackson took you on a roller coaster ride. He took you on a journey with this project. It definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, was a thriller. But that's my top 10, top 15 albums of all time. That's my top 10 albums of all time. Comment below what your top albums are of all time. Comment below. I want to see it. I want to hear it. Put me on to some albums maybe I haven't heard of, but trust me, I've been going crazy this past week, listening to everything and anything and everything you can. So, but yeah, I think that's the in my opinion, in my humble opinion, that is the essential list of the top 10 greatest albums of all time. But let me know how you feel. Like, comment, subscribe, share all the things. Ain't gotta go home. Do gotta get to stepping. Peace.